What's up? I'm Brook and welcome to The Cap, the real center for sports who always keeps you in the conversation. Today there's sweetness in Seattle, Cleveland takes it to the bank, and a letter called Dear Basketball. It's May 5th. It's time to get capped. Let's go. I was flying to Hawaii. I remember seeing this movie. It's about a guy that relocates. He calls into a radio station. A lady from Baltimore hears. She falls in love, writes him a letter and said, hey, let's meet up. That's Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks' Sleepless in Seattle. But right now in Seattle, there's another movie playing out. It's called Restless in Seattle because the people in that city love their basketball and they want to see their Supersonics again. Well, Russell Wilson, the hometown hero, he's leading the charge saying, yeah, bring us a team. We'll fill that stadium up. But right now, all they should be thinking about is baseball and the sweetness in Seattle. Because the Mariners are atop the AL West, and that hasn't happened in a long time. They just took a 3-game series from the Oakland A's, and Nelson Cruz hit a ball so far last night, that thing's either in Vancouver or it's still going. I'm not sure which. But in the National League, it's starting to shape up too. The Mets, the Cubs, and the Nationals are all emerging as the favorites, but we're still super early in the season, and I'm getting super excited. In the Forest City, the Cleveland Browns, they're applying a new strategy to get players. It's called Moneyball. The statistical analysis and the algorithmic formula that Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill used in that 2011 Oscar-nominated film. But while the Cleveland Browns are over crunching numbers, LeBron James and company, come on, they're busy cashing checks at Quicken Loan Center. The Cleveland Cavaliers destroyed the Atlanta Hawks 123-98 last night and were money, cha-ching, 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 thanks to 18 three-pointers in the first half. That's an NBA record. They hit 25 three-pointers on the total game, and it's 55% behind the arc on the night. That's pretty insane. That's a crazy statistic. They've just taken a 2-0 lead, and these could be some dead birds real fast. In other NBA news, Frank Vogel, head coach for the Indiana Pacers, was just fired, and the NBA coaching carousel continues. In golf, Jordan Spieth in Pennsylvania. Yesterday he played Oakmont Country Club, the place where the US Open will be played in June, where he's going to defend his title, and he walked off the course and said, this is the hardest course in America. I'd sign for even par right now for this tournament. Something tells me he's being modest. The kid's going to make a lot of putts come June, and I certainly wouldn't bet against him. But let's go from a model citizen to a less than perfect and talk about Johnny. Yesterday, Johnny Manziel turned himself into police in Highland Park, and he smiled in his mugshot. Yeah, that's right, smiled. Today he appeared in front of a judge where the judge said, Johnny, you can't see your ex-girlfriend and you can't possess a firearm. Well, his next court date is scheduled for June 24th, and I don't know, maybe it's time to lock this guy up and try to teach him a lesson. In entertainment capital, Instagram is becoming massively popular. Everyone's on it. Kobe Bryant is, and on his bio he calls himself a storyteller. I remember back in November he announced his retirement through a creative outlet. It was in the form of a letter called Dear Basketball on Derek Jeter's The Players Tribune. Now Kobe's going to make Dear Basketball a short animated film which he's going to narrate. But the best part of this, he gets to use his favorite composer to score it, John Williams. John did E.T. and Indiana Jones and Jaws. That's awesome. And with this team, I think the king of basketball might be trying to become the king of Hollywood. That's it for us today. I'm Brook and you've just been capped.